Okay, so what if I told you that instead of making a life-saving cancer drug in some massive billion-dollar facility, we could just turn your own body into the factory? Today, we're diving into a breakthrough that does exactly that: in vivo CAR T therapy. It's a technology that is completely rewriting the rules of medicine. So, that was the actual reaction at a huge medical conference recently, right after they saw the first ever human trial results for this new therapy. And it's not every day that a scientific presentation leaves a room full of experienced doctors literally speechless. So, what on earth did they see that was so revolutionary? All right, so to really get what all the excitement's about, we gotta start with the core idea here. We're talking about a shift from this world of external, incredibly complex manufacturing to a simple injection that basically empowers the body to heal itself from the inside out. Okay, so here's the key. In vivo literally just means inside the body. You've probably heard of CAR T therapy, right? It's where we supercharge a patient's own immune cells, these things called T cells, to hunt down and obliterate cancer. Well, with this new in vivo way, we skip the whole lab part. We do it with a single shot that delivers gene editing tools right to those cells, turning them into super sophisticated cancer killers on the spot. This is a monumental shift from how we've been doing things. But, to really get why this is such a game changer, you have to understand what it's replacing. We need to look at the old way of doing things, the ex vivo method, which means outside the body. Now, don't get me wrong, traditional CAR T is one of the most powerful cancer treatments ever invented. I mean, it can cure patients who have absolutely no other options left. But this miracle comes with this staggering list of obstacles. I mean, get this, in 2022, only about 20% of the lymphoma patients who were even eligible for it could actually get it. That's a huge problem. And this table just lays it out so clearly, doesn't it? The traditional way, ex vivo, it's like getting a bespoke, custom-made suit. It's incredible, it's tailored just for you, but it's unbelievably expensive, and it takes weeks to make, weeks that a patient with aggressive cancer just might not have. Now look at the in vivo side. It's like buying that same high-quality suit, but right off the rack. It's ready to go, the cost could plummet, and, this is huge, you might not even need the harsh chemo that usually comes with it. Just look at this whole process. I mean, it is a complete logistical nightmare. You have to draw out the patient's blood, ship their cells to a super specialized lab where they engineer them, grow billions of them, then ship them all the way back. And while all this is happening, the patient is getting blasted with powerful chemo to get their body ready. It's a long, tough, and frankly risky journey. And then there's this. This slide says it all, right? That whole complicated multi-week ordeal, gone, replaced by one single injection. That's it. This simplification is the key. It's what could unlock this therapy for millions, not just a few hundred. Okay, so how does this magic actually happen? How do we build this factory inside the body? Well, it all comes down to the delivery truck. And right now, there are two main competing technologies vying to be the go-to method. So on one hand, we've got something called viral vectors. Basically, we take a harmless, modified virus and use it like a tiny biological syringe to permanently stitch the cancer-fighting gene right into the T cell's DNA. This creates this persistent, long-lasting army of cancer-killing cells, which is perfect for wiping out really stubborn cancers. Then on the other hand, you have the mRNA LNP approach. And if this sounds familiar, it's because it's pretty similar to the tech used in the COVID-19 vaccines. It uses a tiny bubble of fat, a lipid nanoparticle, to deliver a temporary message, the mRNA. It tells the T cell to start making the cancer-fighting protein for a little while, and then, poof, the message disappears. It's like a self-deleting email. This controllable, temporary effect is actually perfect for things other than cancer, like rebooting the immune system in autoimmune diseases. Okay, so this all sounds amazing on paper, right? But the real question is, does it actually work in real people? Well, let's get into the clinical data, the results that had those doctors gasping. So the big breakthrough trial here was from a company called Colonia Therapeutics. It focused on patients with multiple myeloma, a nasty blood cancer, who had basically run out of other options. And this was it. The first time this kind of in vivo therapy had ever been tried in humans. And honestly, the results were just stunning. In the very first group of patients, 4 of them reached what's called MRD negative status. Now, that is the deepest remission you can possibly get. It means that even with our most sensitive, high-tech tests, doctors couldn't find a single trace of cancer left in their bodies. Just gone. And hey, remember that crazy long manufacturing time we talked about? Well, for these patients, the average time from saying, yes, I'll do the trial, to actually getting the infusion was about 15 days. Think about that. For someone whose disease is getting worse by the day, that speed, that can literally be the difference between life and death.
And the good news just kept on coming. First off, the therapy worked without needing any of that harsh prep chemo. Huge. Second, the engineered T cells grew like crazy inside the patient's bodies, exactly like they were designed to do. And third, and this is so important, the safety was excellent. It managed to avoid some of the scariest side effects, like the severe neurotoxicity that can sometimes happen with traditional CAR. So, as absolutely incredible as these cancer results are, they might just be the beginning. Seriously, the tip of the iceberg. The real, mind-blowing promise of this technology is its potential to be a platform for treating a whole range of other diseases. Remember that temporary mRNA method we talked about? Well, people are developing that to go after the rogue immune cells that cause autoimmune diseases like lupus. It's like hitting a reset button on the immune system. Researchers are also looking at it for eye diseases that can cause blindness, and even, get this, in cardiology to try and reverse the damage from heart failure.
And look, this isn't some far-off science fiction. What you're seeing here are results from a study where these in vivo CAR T cells were used to attack the scar tissue that forms after a heart attack. And it worked. The therapy didn't just reduce the scarring, it actually helped restore heart function. I mean, the possibilities are just staggering.
Okay, so with all this incredible promise, where do we go from here? The future looks ridiculously bright, but there are definitely still a few challenges we need to work through before this becomes a standard treatment for everyone.
Yeah, it's all about finding the right balance. With the viral vectors, their permanence is a huge plus, but we have to be absolutely sure there are no long-term risks from having that gene switched on forever. For the mRNA approach, being temporary is great for safety, but we might need to figure out repeat dosing for diseases that need a longer-term fix. And for both of them, the absolute holy grail is perfecting the targeting, making sure these incredibly powerful tools only go after the cells we want them to and nothing else.
And all of this brings us back to the biggest, most important question of all. For years, we've had these revolutionary, life-saving therapies, but they've been so complex and so expensive that only a tiny fraction of people could ever get them. By turning the whole process into a simple, off-the-shelf injection, is this it? Is this how we finally break down those barriers and turn this miracle of medicine into something for the many and not just for the few?